The art of playing quarterback and throwing a football are fundamentals that can be mastered through practice. The art of thinking, of being able to plan a few plays ahead, on the other hand, comes only through long study of opponents' defenses' tendencies. The difference between winning and losing is the consistency, both in theory and in application, with which you do your job. This is Mike here with Scoots Collectibles. And I started with a passage written by one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, and to be so lucky to I guess maybe not lucky, but to grow up here in Western PA. And this passage is from none other than Mr. Johnny Unitas himself. And that's from this 1972 July issue of Sports Illustrated. Here with Johnny Unitas getting ready to drop back in and throw a pass. It's one of my the vintage magazines that I've picked up. Probably within the last couple months or so. And what's really cool about this magazine is, well, there's a lot of cool things, and there's a lot of cool things about vintage magazines, but it's really a neat thing that it's this article was actually written by Johnny Unitas himself. Also, he had some help with Mr. Brown. But it's really cool. It brings you back through the stance. I like basically through what he does, the snap, and exactly how to play. Play quarterback, arm angles. Really cool here, 7 yards in 1.5 seconds. So any youngster looking to improve their game as a passer, I suggest picking up this SI magazine and taking a look from one of the greatest to ever do it. And then also what's really, really neat is there's an article. Part of the article here is the key is consistency. And it's actually a written article of how he reads defenses and what he does with his eyes and what he does with the different checks that he does to determine if it's zone or man to man. It's really neat. And it was really cool to go through what's in his mind when he played quarterback. And that's what's neat about vintage magazines. You get a glimpse within the history of time, but not very often you get them where some of the star athletes of the time they actually helped write the articles themselves. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I picked this one up, and I also picked up one of his cards into the collection. I think this might be my second or third. I'm not running a run but this is the 19. Man, I had terrible vintage years. 1968, 69. I'm sure you will correct me if I am wrong, but just a beautiful card. We have the old Colt logo there. Just the orange just pops with the royal blue of the Colts uniforms. And then you have the back here and he is one of the all-time greats. And at this moment in time, he holds the the NFL league record with 2,272 completed passes. And John holds a record by throwing a TD pass in 49 consecutive games. So really cool to add that one to the collection. That will go into the Hall of Fame box. And yeah, he is one of the many great quarterbacks that came from Western PA. But another cool thing, a really cool thing about Johnny Unitas is he grew up in Mount Washington. It's kind of like on top of the city, like across the river. And he went to St. Justin's Catholic school, and none other than he went to the same school as my grandfather, or my grandfather went to the same school as him. However you want to look at it, but that was one of his claim to fames. Is I remember him saying that he got to play football with Johnny Unitas. So pretty cool. Pretty cool to like have that memory, and really neat to know that I've had some family, I don't want to say friends or connections, but have had some family with many interactions with Johnny Unitas. But anyway, that is it. It is a short one. I hope you enjoyed the magazine, learning a little bit about the different things that you can find in some of these vintage magazines and whatnot. But until next time, Yins, take care.